starting right off with a wonderful broadcast today. We have a very special guest, which you're going to learn more and more about as time goes by. Hopefully, this is Mr. Christopher Hale of Luther LLC or Luther Event Company. So, how you doing, Mr. Hale?
I'm doing wonderful today. How about yourself, sister?
I'm doing great. I'm excited, and I'm glad we're able to click in together. Now, I need 1 second because I'll be right back. I'm trying to put it on the radio, so I'll be right back, folks. You can watch Mr. Hale. Look at Mr. Hale's face. Well, I'm going to talk so Mr. Hale won't be so lonely. You just won't see me. I just don't want you to see me moving around trying to get this radio.
That's okay.
Get it on the radio. Well, we're talking to these other people that's watching us too, Mr. Hale. That's why.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. For some, for like me, I don't see what the person did with the their device. Really interesting. Oh, here it is. Big light right in my face. Folks, you don't see me, but I'll be there in a minute. You're looking at that nice flyer on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, all that. You can see a great event that is getting ready to come up. And Mr. Hill has some wonderful things that he wants to tell us about. You'll see my face in a second as soon as I can click this in on our radio station. And there we are. And I'm back. Okay. So, Mr. Hill, it's such a great history that you have that we can talk about today. So, first I want to start off talking about this wonderful event that you're planning on having. And you want to just tell us a little bit about what's getting ready to happen?
Well, what we're doing is we are doing a Bring Back the Choir more than anything campaign. I saw it a long time ago. I don't know who came up with the idea, but I read it once and I said, that is a wonderful idea. But I never thought about it until I started attending our churches and things. You know, church just is while the praise teams and the music is wonderful, it's still something missing. And I think it's the choir. So I'm asking for as many people that want to express to join us in this event. We're going to spread some joy throughout the city. And we're going to do it through spoken word, through music, through dance. It's going to be a wonderful celebration of Detroit and joy in this city.
Wow, that's exciting. Now we're going to get to some history about you. Okay. Is there? I know what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm a old school choir director. I started as a Miles College choir director. Well, I was in Miles College. That's a predominantly Black school in Alabama. And well, when I first moved to Detroit back in '72, the first thing I ran into is gospel choirs. You know, I think at that time there was the St. James Baptist Church choir out, and the Donald Fort-Lears, and oh man, it was just a wonderful time in the city during that time. So I was always inspired by it. And then I went to churches, and there was so many wonderful church choirs. You know, going to church was truly a wonderful event. I've gotten in trouble with my mama for being at church too late on Sundays because of musicals and events like that. So I don't see that anymore. I see the praise teams, I see the sound and the lighting. All that's wonderful if it's giving God praise, but missing the choir, kind of missing the choir. So I would like for us to bring Back the Choir and just start adding choirs back to the menu at church now, you know.
And so is there a way, before we get with the history of you and all the things you've done in the past and all the people that you worked with in the past, can you tell them how you, we'll do it later again, how do you want them to get in touch with you?
Okay. Well, you can get in touch with me by calling or just going on the email and doing a hale6@gmail.com, or you can do it by emailing Luther LLC 2022@gmail.com. And any of those areas will do it. Our rehearsals are going to be at the Mack Avenue Community Church. And you can also go online there and register your attendance at that rehearsal. I'm going to be sending out the schedule for the rehearsal. Actually, I'm going to get forward that to you today, just so you can start including it as well for people that would like to come and join the choir. If you just like singing, if you haven't sang in a long time, the choir is open to you. So you can come the first Friday I think we started in June, the first Friday in June. I think it's June 5th, if my memory serves me correctly. But I'm not looking at the schedule right now. But we're going to start building the choir back. And then that particular choir, we're expecting to perform that night at the Joy Night service as well.
Now, it's going to be another exciting places. Where is it going to be held? Once you get everything together, you already have everything lined up. So it's already set, right? The location.
Yes. Everything's in place.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's in place. We have our guest. One of our guests is Sister Kim Butler. She's going to be one of the great dynamics. Well, she already is a great pastor in the city of Detroit, but she also has a wonderful singing career, and she's going to be one of our feature people that evening to help us minister and usher in the spirit of joy into the city of Detroit.
Okay. Now, where's the location? Now, tell them about the pastor, because I think
we're
everybody
going to be
knows
having it at the New Bethel Baptist Church, Reverend C.L. Franklin Boulevard, 8430 C.L. Franklin Boulevard, pastored by my good friend and longtime friend, Pastor Robert Smith Jr., who's going to also, I believe, going to favor us that evening with his appearance and probably going to really sing us joy into our souls as well.
Oh, yes, he does. He does have some songs to sing. So it's going to be at the historical church, which was Pastor Franklin and Aretha Franklin's church as well. As Pastor Smith is the pastor. Now let's get into some history about you. Let's go down memory lane and bring it all the way up to today. Tell me, I mean, you have been involved with some very awesome projects, very well-known, prominent people. Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm a little country boy from Alabama, a little small town called Sylacauga. And we moved up here in Detroit. I think it might be about in the 70s, 72, 73 in that area. Maybe a little, about 72, 73. And I went to Condon Junior Middle School at that time. You know, Detroit had the middle school system as well as going into a high school. I was a different high school, Western High School, by the way. But I did not know anybody here. You know, we just moved here. And I started going to the Carter Metropolitan Church right on West Grand Boulevard in Warren, right down the corner across from Simpson Funeral Home.
Okay.
And it was within walking distance of my home. So in Alabama, we went to church every Sunday. We lived out in the country. We went to church every Sunday. When we moved up here, we stopped going to church. And I used to see the church up at the corner. So on Sunday, I would get up and get dressed and I walked down to the church. Most of the time, you know, in the summertime, it was fine. So little did I know that I joined the church right there across the street from Stenson's Funeral Home, where I met my mother, you know, across the street from Smith's Flower Shop. You know, Ed Smith was right across the street there. I did not know who Ed Smith was. I was a little kid, and we used to hang out in this flower shop. And I saw him years and years later in Philadelphia. And we both got on the elevator at the same time. And I said, "Hey, Mr. Smith." He said, "Hey." And I said, "Well, what in the world is you doing here?" And everybody on the elevator kind of chuckled. I had the slightest idea that it was his work. He and James Cleveland put that thing together. I did not know that. You know, but being in that, I was just absorbed into a lot of musical stuff. My best friend was at the time when I met him in high school. He was a member of Oakland Avenue, and I met Lena Brown and Edmund Brown. They introduced me to the people at Oakland Avenue. And at Oakland Avenue at that time, there was this young guy named Daryl Houston playing the organ. He was about 13.
Wow.
He was about 13 at that time. And he was so amazing. And I'd always wanted to play. So when I saw him, he was just a wonder to me. We became friends, but I don't want to go into all that. I'll be on the phone with you all day talking about different people that the Lord has allowed me to run across, you know. Dummel and I met each other through the Voices of Deliverance when he got ready to put that choir together. And I wanted to join the choir. And I registered and started singing in the choir. And I went to Miles as I graduated from high school. I started playing for this church, Bethel Baptist in Pratt City. That's how I met Pastor Smith.
Wow.
You know, yeah, he was the pastor at that time. I was a student at the college there, and one of the staff members at the college asked me to come and audition to be their musician.
Wow.
And she said, pick you up from the dorm and I'll take you to the church and I'll wait around. She wound up being the president of the choir. And she would bring me back to the campus after I did rehearsals, and then they come and pick me up on Sunday. So that's how that whole thing got started. And I met Pastor Smith on the phone that day. You know, they put him on the phone and brought in and put it by the organ while I had rehearsal. And he said, okay, he said, you sound like you're pretty good. I'm gonna pay you $90 a Sunday. And that time, that was big money. That was big money.
Yes.
That was, I went back to the school that evening feeling like a millionaire.
Oh, yes.
And we became good companions musically and preaching-wise. I had no clue that he could preach like he did until the Sunday. He and I both, he showed up. He was on at revivals out of town all the time. I saw him today. I was surprised to even see him in town because Pastor Smith just, he has been preaching like that since I've known him. But at any rate, we became wonderful musical companions. A choir grew from about 30 people to a little over 115, 120. We started singing all over the city. People like Albertina Walker, Shirley Caesar, when they did those songs, they had those choir backgrounds. Whenever they came in town to perform at the Boutwell, they would try to pair them up with the choir. So we did the background singing for a lot of them, And one of my bass players was a graduate from, what was that, Tennessee State University, I think. And we wound up meeting Bobby Jones, and we went up there to his first taping. I got pictures of that, where we took pictures of the choir at the first Bobby Jones show. Who knew? All of this stuff was going on.
Right.
God has done some marvelous and wonderful things in my life. Huh? I'm amazed.
You're also a recording artist as well. Now you've come to the point. You recorded.
Yeah, Pastor Horace Thompson and I recorded a project a few years back, and I did that with him. Just a Little Talk with Jesus wound up being one of his favorite songs off that cut. And when I was with Pastor Smith, we won the Burger King Sing and Shout competition, and
you did
recorded a project with them. Greg Pearson at Inner Court Music Group. He was the recording contractor for the award-winning prize, and we still got the award hanging on the wall now. For that. Wow. That was fun.
Yeah.
But at any rate, we've done a few projects. I just recently left the CME church. I'm on sabbatical right now because, I suffered 2 strokes and 2 brain aneurysms.
Wow.
And brain surgery all in one night. All in one night. God just took me through the whole deal, So,
well, you look great, though, right now.
The Lord has been good. He's blessing me, and hey, he's showing out. He's doing his thing. Everything came back 100%. Thank God. And
amen for that.
Well, the Spirit of God is awesome. God is an awesome God.
Yes, He is.
I can't say nothing else.
You can't come back to now. Boosting
Well,
some
yeah, and
choir,
it's
yes.
God has just done some wonderful things. I met a group of brothers who also are going to be helping me minister that night from the Macedonian ministry. When I went on sabbatical, there was a program of ministers, young brothers, and young men. The pastor of Mack Avenue Community Church, Pastor Leon Stevenson, is one of my good friends, and that's where I'm working with him right now, serving as his music worship director. And we just had a meeting last night. Pastor Cleet Bonhoeffer, I think, and he's a pastor of Restore Church right down the street from New Bethel. That's one of the churches. They transformed the post office down there on Claremont, but now it's it's called Restore. We were there last night having a meeting, and I told the brothers about this as well. So they're excited. They're going to be on hand to minister to the people in any way. They'll be able to pray for them. They'll be able to guide them spiritually in any direction as far as church worship that they want to go. And they'll be on hand to express some words of joy and hope to the people of Detroit as well. So I'm looking forward to that night. It's going to be really, really, really wonderful.
It sounds exciting. So what are you looking for in choir members? What do they need to do to sign up? Just call you to register if they're interested in.
Yeah, just reach me through online that way, or they can call you and you'll put them in touch with me. Anyone that wants to sing, I'm looking for some people. Hopefully, if you can hold a part. I don't want to. I've had working with the college, and in the college choir, I had a couple of kids in there that couldn't carry a tone if I put the lid on it and welded it shut. But their spirits were so wonderful, I couldn't reject them. And actually, they wound up with the longevity of them and place them in certain areas. Yes. They were able to be a very wonderful charge to the choir. But no, I'm not looking for a lot of people that just.
You just need some people that love to sing, that has had some experience.
There you
singing,
go.
And that can hold that can hold the tone and be directed.
Yeah. That's all. We're gonna have a good time singing these songs because I'm looking for somebody that's hopefully you know about the Lord. I don't want people in there. We'll guide you to somebody if you don't know about the Lord. If you know the Lord, come on, come on.
And you're saying you also want the right spirit of people that I understand.
Right spirit, please bring the right spirit. It's not a spirit of competition or arrogance or nothing like that. We just want to make some good music to the Lord and magnify and glorify His name. That's what I'm looking for now. If
so once you get
carry a little bit of tone, I can teach you the rest.
Okay.
I have a bachelor's degree, and I'm working on my master's.
All right. So now we get history about you. This is only a tip of the iceberg history on you when we come back. But and so once you get this choir, I guess I want to know what would be the future of the choir? Will they stay intact for more events?
Well, we're gonna start with just that night. And if everybody if they just commit to singing that night, we're gonna go for that night. Now, if the Lord sees that we move on, then we'll move as the Lord directs. But I'm just looking for a group to come that night and disperse and spread the joy.
All right.
And then next year we'll come back together and do it again.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great and exciting. Yeah. Well, I tell you, if there's anything else that you would like to say, I'm so glad that you're here. We're able to connect this way. And
I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping that I don't want to talk too much and too long. And I got so many events and stories I can tell you guys about, but I don't want to bore nobody right now. That I can do it a little bit at a time. I think we've agreed to do something along those lines, so I can be able to tell everybody the story and the things that God has done for me and with me as well as through me, and the little bit of music that God gave me. And I'll tell you the story of how it all happened and everything.
So it sounds like a lot of bit of music, and you say you are the musician for El Bethel Church with Pastor Smith, right?
Oh yeah, I was ministering music there with them for the longest. in both churches. I served as minister of music in Bethel Baptist in Pratt City. That's the name of the church. And then when I came up here, I started serving as a choir director, but I didn't have my degree yet.
Okay.
And I had to go back to school. And I went on back and got back in school and I finished and came back with my degree in hand. And I was brought right back. I came actually up to Detroit to be minister of music of the Oak Grove AME Church. I don't know if anybody heard about that church on Chelon and Pembroke, but Reverend Jessica and Gregory Ingram were the pastors of that church. And when they became bishop in the AME Church, my good friend Cynthia Smith, Pastor Smith's wife, she and I have been friends just as long as he and I have been. And she was doing the children and asked me to come by and help her with the children. And I worked with the children, and then one thing led to another, and next thing you know, we were right back in the mix again.
All right.
Yeah. And this time, Sister Franklin joined in with us and started making more and more appearances there at the church. And I think eventually she started doing music events there. But it was not too soon after that I made my departure and when I had to start preaching. I served in the CME church as a pastor, about 3 different churches. So, and the only reason I'm not preaching now, as I told you guys, I had those 2 strokes and aneurysms and surgery, and I didn't want to press the envelope no longer. I prayed and asked God about it, and He told me okay, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm resting in His promise.
Amen. Wow. We thank God for bringing you through with thank God for the wonderful testimony.
God bless you.
That should be inspiring to anybody that really I would want to be, if I want to sing with somebody, sing somebody like that, because we know we have some godly substance and a great testimony, which is already inspirational, which people always need to hear. So God is using you. You're back. So as far as God's concerned, you never really left. You just had to take a sabbatical.
God bless you. Thank you so much for this. God is so amazing. That's the best I can tell you. He's an awesome, awesome God. And you are a wonderful host. And you're making me talk. And that's the best thing in the world. Once I get going, I'm like a mower. I can't stop.
Well, I like people that like to talk. So I can ask you questions because you know all about you. And you can tell us about it. So we want to just appreciate you for being here. We look for great success for what you're doing. Also, we want to say hi to licmc.net radio and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, wherever else this is going to be. And they can all, if you want people that are looking, you want more information about how to get involved and contact Mr. Hale, then you can watch this again and again and again. So you can remember that you're gonna be a part of this. Well, I think it's very much needed. I just love the choirs. I love it, and I would love to see that what you're getting ready to do.
This choir will inspire the people that show up to go back and start their own choirs as well. A restart. I ain't gonna say start up. They've been there all along. It's just restart. There's something about the fellowship of choirs that keeps the spirit flowing in the churches. You got to have that iron sharpens iron, but in the choirs they can be a little bit of an issue sometimes, but at the same time they can bring so much joy to a service.
Yes, we have to work through it. We work through it behind the scenes.
Well, that's all part of growing in a Christian's life, being in that choir, going through those things that choirs go through. That's part of the walk in the Christian life. You got to move forward. You got to. I don't want to start preaching, but you got to move forward.
Well, it's just life changing. It's a life changing type thing. That's when you're singing God's music. There's nothing more blessed than the music of God for God. Indeed, so you're not just singing, but you're also, in my opinion, you're being blessed and affected spiritually, and sometimes it just really changes your whole life. And if you come and get involved with this, and once you start singing, I'm telling you that, and I'm gonna say this real quick. I remember practicing for special choir days, and we had to come at special rehearsals, and it was like going to work, and I've been in some of those kind of choirs that you got to be on key. You gotta have good etiquette. You gotta make sure you're coming right. You gotta have your uniform on. You gotta, or you can't. That kind of thing. And when the night comes for that event for us to sing, it was just like exciting. Everybody was pins and needles, but then the God shows up and everything that you have rehearsed, God shows out that night.
Comes together. It comes together.
It
turns into a wonderful event.
Yep, and this blesses a lot of people.
That's what we're looking forward to.
Yes. Well, we look forward to it. I'm so excited that God is using you back. And people don't know the half about you. A lot of them may know you, but boy, this history of you, maybe one day we'll just come back and we'll fly through another set of history.
That's right. That's right. I got to tell you about my Miles College choir days and who all worked in and sang in my choir.
Oh, okay.
That's another time, but I don't want to do that now. But yeah, God has done so many wonderful things in my life and through my life and the music that He has allowed to be in my life. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about all of this stuff. I believe so.
I believe so. And because we have this event's going to be happening in August, right?
That's right.
So we have time to do that. So now they have met you again. For those that don't know you, and those that do know you, see you. Now you see that this gentleman he's starting to choir. He's qualified. He's ready, and he's looking for you, those that, especially those that remember the choir days, and even the ones that just love to sing. And hopefully, he's saying he wants you to be able to sing.
All right.
So we thank you so much, Mr. Christopher Hale of Luther LLC or Luther Events, and we're excited about what's coming in August. So that's what they do. You're getting prepared. You got the 3-4 months to get it all together, and that I just know that night is going to be the night.
Oh, it will be. You will get a chance to hear some people that you didn't know were here, but they're here, and you're going to be able to do quite a few of those people.
Sounds very exciting. Well, I'm excited for you, and I'm glad that we are able to work together to get this going, and we shall be back. But one day I'll be able to get your music, so I would like to play your music so they can see, hear some music that you produce and all that. You do everything.
Thank the Lord, yes.
Amen. So you have a blessed night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And we want to thank our guest, Mr. Christopher Hale of Luther Events. And of course, I want to thank our engineer over there, Miss Irene, for helping me pull this off tonight. So you have a blessed night. I'll talk to you soon. And goodbye, everyone. Thanks for looking and listening.
Thank you. Bye now.